and welcome to another Bimmer Fixer video. And in this video I'm going to be showing you how to adjust your handbrake in your BMW 5 Series e60 and e61. Now to do this you're going to need a jack, a wheel brace, you need some axle stands as well to keep the car up in the air safely, and some wood or some wheel chocks. You don't need a cat, that's optional extra. Also a torch is definitely going to help you out, some gloves again, and a thin flathead screwdriver. It doesn't have to be one like this with a handle like this. It can be an ordinary screwdriver. So yeah, that's everything you're going to need. So now what we'll do, we'll crack on, get the car up in the air and adjust the handbrake. Okay, so just before we make a start on the car, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Mark at BMW Decorating, based in Abingdon, South Oxfordshire. He's currently painting our house and doing a very good job. Got a good eye for detail, so I will leave his details in the description if you need a painter and decorator in South Oxford. Okay, so once your car is safely up in the air, in neutral and your wheels off, we then need to locate the cog that adjusts the handbrake shoes, which are inside of here. Now on the E90, E91, E46, the little cog is actually inside the hub at the 10 o'clock position. Now on the E60 and E61 it's actually at the bottom. Okay, so what we need to do to locate this is we look through the bolt hole here. Now you can actually see the spring there to one of the bottom of the shoes. Now as you turn the hub, you go past the spring, and then eventually there it is. That's the little cog there. You can just see the tooth there, and that's where you want to put your flathead screwdriver. Okay, in between those teeth there. And now the idea is, what you want to do is you want to turn that little cog towards you. Okay, so it's rotating towards you. Now that will put pressure or adjust the shoes on the inside of the hub, which will push out and grip the inside, which is what gives you your braking. Now to release it, you go the other way, so you turn the cog the opposite way, so it turns away from you. Okay, and that will release the shoes. Now when you come to do the other side, we're on the driver's side here in the UK, but it'll be the passenger side in the States or Europe. It's the other way around. Okay, so it'll be towards you to loosen it and away from you to tighten it up, but we'll do that bit in a second. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to pop our flathead screwdriver in there, and we're going to rotate the screw or the cog towards us. Spin that like that. There you go, that's another turn. Okay, so the handbrake's off at the moment. Now at the moment when you pull it up it's at about 5 or 6 clicks. Well, ideally we want it to be at 3 or 4. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to tighten the handbrake all the way until it binds, or until it grips, and then we can back this off when the handbrake is nice and tight at 3 clicks. Okay, so what we'll do now is we'll just crack on, and we'll just rotate that cog so many times that it grips the hub itself, and then we can't turn it. Okay, so we've adjusted that little cog now to the point where the shoes are making firm contact to the inside of the hub, and we've actually got quite a bit of resistance there now. So you can test this by spinning it by hand, or if you pop your torque wrench in there, if you pop a bolt in the hub and you can turn it, you'll feel the resistance. Okay, so the handbrake's off at the moment, so we don't want the shoes touching the inside of the hub whilst the handbrake's off, because obviously that means it's going to be binding, and that will overheat the brakes and cause lots of smells and damage, so we don't want that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to back that screw off. So remembering that we're on the right hand side of the car, it needs to turn away from us, so we're going to give it 2 clicks away from us. That should hopefully free up the shoes from the pad, but also should have taken up the distance in between the shoe and the hub, and that should hopefully restrict the amount of play that's in the handbrake. Okay, so let's see what the first adjustment's done for us. So we were on about, I think, six clicks. So now we are 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so that's a strong 4. So that's really good for one side. So this is probably the side that was actually a little bit too slack. But what we'll do, I'll just double check everything again, and then I shall do exactly the same on the other side. Right, okay, so we are now on the left hand side of the car, so passenger side and right hand drive car. Process exactly the same, finding the adjuster, cog and everything. Just like I said before, the difference is the rotation. Okay, so instead of moving it away to loosen it, this time we're going to move it away to tighten it up. Okay, so once you've found it again, so you want to aim at the bottom of the cog and flip up like that. So that's one rotation. That might have been two actually. Yeah, it's three, it's four, and they're still not touching. So we're going to find it again. There's one there. That's another one. So that's number three. There we go, that's binding there. Right, so what we're going to do, we'll back that off one click. So we're going to be moving it towards us this time. That's one. I think that's the one. You're always going to feel a bit of resistance because you're turning the diff and that drive shaft and everything, and the prop shaft. But I think I had a bit of a worry then. That felt like an intermittent bit of resistance, which could indicate something's not right. But I think it might have just been my glove catching. Yeah, that's okay. So yeah. As well, while the wheel's off, it's always worth having a look around at the rest of the suspension components. I definitely need some control arms, so I'll be doing that soon. And also, I noticed when taking the wheel off, I don't know if you're going to be able to see there, but there's a little bit of rust in there, and that's because one of my wheel nuts was missing. So the wheel went in for a balance not all that long ago, and I think, well, they obviously didn't put the bolt back in or didn't torque it properly. So yeah, just always keep an eye on your wheel nuts, guys. So that needs to be replaced immediately. Okay guys, so yeah, what we'll do now is we'll give the handbrake a quick test, see if that's made much of a difference, and then we should be good to go. So let's go and have a look. Okay, so we have a free spinning hub. So what we'll do now, final test, is we'll pop the handbrake on. So 3 to 4 clicks are the magic numbers. Let's see what we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4 at a push, but we'll put it on 3 clicks for now. Now what we'll do is hopefully we'll get our bar, pop it in the hub. Yeah, safe to say that's got it. So that's good news. So what we'll do now, I'll get the wheel back on, and then we'll get the car back down on the floor, give it a final test. But I think that's everything. There we go, all done, guys. Only thing left to do now is to test it. So my driveway's on a bit of a slope. So what we'll do, make sure the car's in neutral because I'm an auto. Foot on the brake, handbrake down, take the foot off the brake, and we roll. And then if we put the handbrake up 3 clicks, that's 3, and that's holding us steady. Okay, and then we can go 4 if we really need it. So all done, all good. Made a massive difference. So that's taken up the slack in the brakes, and it's definitely a more efficient handbrake. So if you enjoyed the video, found it useful and helpful, please get a thumbs up, really appreciate it. And also, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Massive thank you to all my current subscribers. It's brilliant to have you along, and all the support. Some content coming up, the control arms at the back, they definitely need doing, so I shall be doing videos on there. I've also noticed the back end starting to get a bit twitchy over manhole covers and bumps, which is usually the control arms or tyres, but I'll try the control arms first because they look a bit worse for wear. I've also got a bit of play in the tie rod end on this side, so I'll be changing those out. And also I've got a bit of a vibration, which I think is going to be that track rod end, but we'll try that first. But yeah, so thank you very much, guys. Thanks again for all the support, and I very much look forward to seeing you soon. Take care, guys. Bye bye.